Okay, you can go ahead and write this at the top because we're solving, so you know that our goal is to get that variable alone. So get that at the top of your paper. The difference today, this is day 2 of solving for a variable or rearranging, is we're going to solve for y. They're all going to be solving for y because this is a precursor to graphing. Okay, and using our graphing calculator. So we're going to solve for y. Number 1, here's my y. What has to go away so that my y is alone? The -3. And what's the inverse of multiplying? Dividing. So I'm going to divide both sides by -3. That makes a +1. And y is going to equal a positive 5x over 3. Because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. Okay? So we can see that there. Now let's look at number 2. Again, here is my y, my size. I'm going to divide that 2 away. Now there's addition going on here. So we are going to divide the entire problem by 2. +1, y is going to equal -10 plus 7x divided by 2. Okay? Now let's look at number 3. Let's slide my paper up a little bit. Again, I need to get y alone. The inverse of this multiplication is division. Divide all the way across. That makes a +1. -2 divided by -2 is a +1. Y equals -4. You're right. It is not negative, is it? Because when I divide a negative by a negative, I get a +4, x, +2. Okay? Okay. So this is what we end up with. Now we can simplify that, but we're going to do that a little bit later. We're not going to worry about that at this moment. Look at number 6. Now here's my y. And here is the separation line here. What has to go away now so that my y is alone? Well, the -2, but that's multiplication, so it doesn't go away first. My positive 9x goes away first. Well, what's the opposite of plus 9x? Minus 9x on the opposite side. Now that's 0. I do want you to notice something now. I want you to notice that the 9x is positive when it's on the left, but what is it when we move it to the right? It's the opposite sign. Opposite side, opposite sign. So when we move a number to the opposite side of the equal sign, it gets the opposite sign. So we're going to start just moving these terms, okay? But for now, let's write this one out. So I'm going to put -2y equals, variable always goes first, -9x plus 10. And now I'm going to divide away the -2 on both sides. +1, y equals -9x plus 10. Oh wait, yeah, that's not the right signs, is it? Because now what happens? A -9 divided by -2 is now a +9, and a +10 divided by this is now going to be negative. So make sure that you're watching your signs, okay? Because you cannot leave a negative in the denominator. That is not possible, okay, to be correct. All right, let's look at number 7. I told you we're going to move these things because here's what we noticed, is if I take this x, because I'm still solving for y, I'm going to leave the 5y alone, I need to move that 7x and it needs to go in front because I always want my x first. So I'm going to move my 7x to the opposite side. If it's positive on the left, what's it going to be on the right? Negative. Opposite sign. Now, minus 25, just bring that down because that does not change. It's now been moved. I've got 5y equals that. Divide that side by 5. This is a positive 1. Y equals negative 7x minus 25 divided by 5. That is going to be our final answer. Okay? Very good. Let's look at number 8. Number 8. There's my y. Separate my sides here. Am I going to do anything with this negative 5 yet? No, because I need to move the x. So I'm going to move the x. Ladies and gentlemen, when you use arrows to show me what you're doing, I want you to know that that's showing me work. Arrows, showing me what you're doing. Everything doesn't have to be exactly written out, but I got to be able to follow your thought process, and making arrows tells me what you're thinking. So what I have left here now is negative 5y equals, now that x is positive on the left, what is it when I move it to the right? Yes, negative x, and that is a positive 25. And I'm going to divide it by negative 5, so that'll go away. And y is going to equal, good catch, x minus 25 divided by 5. Once you divide that, this becomes positive, and that's the reason that you have to do that. Okay. Now, if you have any questions, you need to be asking. But if you don't know if you have questions yet or not, what you're going to do right now is pause the video, and I want you to get the answers for problems 4 and 5. Okay, check your answers. For numbers 4 and 5. Okay, if you have questions, you know you need to ask them. Now, I'm going to show you how we make these answers simplified. Okay? When I look at, we're going to go back up to number 2. And this 2, we are actually dividing these separately. So, negative 10 divided by 2 is a negative 5. If you don't get a whole number, then you have to leave the fraction as it is. This is our final answer. Okay? Let's look at number 4. We're going to practice a couple more of these. 3 is being divided into both of these. Negative 15 divided by 3 is a negative 5. Negative 2 divided by 3 is not a whole number, so we leave that as a fraction. Negative 2x over 3. And that's our final answer. Moving on down to number 6. 2 will not go into 9 evenly, so we're going to leave the 9x over 2. But negative 10 divided by 2 is a negative 5. So we are going to have some fraction answers here, and that's okay. All right, let's look at number 8. This is what's in front of that x. X is not 1, but in front of it is the invisible 1. So here's what we've got. Y equals x over 5, and negative 25 divided by 5 is a negative 5. Y equals mx plus b. Keep in mind that it's okay for that slope to be a fraction, because we really want that rise over run. Okay? So my expectation now is that you will pause the video and simplify numbers 3, 5, and 7. Okay, please check your answers. If you did not get those correct and you do not know how you missed those, then I need for you to ask questions. Okay? Okay, now we'll turn the page over where you will find your homework. And you will complete problems 9 through 16 for homework.